Welcome back to a very special, slightly disoriented, but highly caffeinated Sunday edition of The Orange Ball. I'm Alex Morgan.
And I'm Taylor Brooks.
I have to be honest with you. My circadian rhythm is just completely shot.
Right.
We are waking up. We're maybe just continuing the day.
Yeah.
Fresh off the heels of NBA All-Stars Saturday night at the Intuit Dome in L.A.
Yeah.
But I hesitate to even call it Saturday night because when the first ball went up, I'm pretty sure people in Santa Monica were still putting on sunscreen.
It was definitely a vibe shift. I mean, usually we're recording this in the absolute dead of night.
Exactly.
We're fueled by, bad arena coffee and that specific delirious energy that comes from watching 3 hours of dunks at midnight Eastern time.
Right.
But here we are. The sun was literally glaring off the windshields on the 405 when the festivities kicked off.
It's true.
Social media is already branding it All-Star Saturday afternoon, and honestly, it fits.
It really does. It was a weird one. We had an event that started while people were finishing late lunches. We had a champion crowned who hasn't played a single minute of regular season basketball this year, which is a sentence I never thought I'd say.
It's unbelievable.
And we had a dunk contest that, well, it had moments of absolute brilliance, but it also left us with some pretty profound questions about the format, the judging, and the future of the event.
A lot of questions, and honestly some fascinating answers too, particularly regarding, the physics of shooting versus the physics of athleticism. But distinct is the right word?
Distinct is a diplomatic word for it.
The atmosphere was different, the lighting was different, the energy was different.
Look, we have a packed show. We're going to unpack everything that happened at the Intuit Dome. We've got a roadmap for you.
Let's do it.
First up, in segment 1, we are doing a deep dive into the two marquee events, the State Farm three-point contest and the AT&T Slam Dunk Contest. We need to talk about Damian Lillard's legacy and the tragic narrative arc of the dunk contest.
Absolutely. We have to break down the mechanics of what Dame did because it almost defies logic.
Then, in segment 2, we are getting into the hot takes and controversies.
Oh, yeah.
We need to talk about the schedule, the broadcast, the judging controversies, basically everything that had NBA Twitter and Reddit on fire while the sun was still up.
And finally, in segment 3, we will look ahead to tonight's main event, the 75th NBA All-Star Game.
Yep.
We have a new 3-team format, some serious injury concerns, and a lot of pride on the line for the USA squads.
So let's not waste any time. Let's jump right into last night's games.
Let's get into the anatomy of it.
Okay, we have to start with the shooter, the man, the myth, and apparently the guy who doesn't need healthy tendons to dominate.
I mean, seriously.
Damian Lillard, representing the Portland Trail Blazers, wins his third three-point contest title.
Third.
He goes back to back to back in terms of participation years, 2023, 2024, and now 2026.
He's joining Larry Bird and Craig Hodges. That is elite company. That is the Mount Rushmore of contest shooters.
It is, but the context here is just wild.
It's insane.
Lillard has not played a game in the 2025-26 season. He is currently rehabbing a torn Achilles suffered in the 2025 playoffs.
Right.
He is technically on injured reserve, and yet he walks onto the court and beats Devin Booker, who is in midseason form, and the rookie phenom Con Newpel.
It's unbelievable, really, and I want to dig into the how of this immediately because I think people are underestimating the physiological anomaly we just watched.
Please break it down, because common sense says you need game reps to have your rhythm.
Exactly. Usually we say shooters need to feel the speed of the game. They need their legs under them.
Sure.
But think about the biomechanics of a jump shot, especially a long-range shot. You generate power from your base, right?
From the ground up.
It travels up through your kinetic chain calves, quads, core, triceps, wrist. Damian Lillard is dealing with a torn Achilles. That is the primary tendon for explosive lift and stability in the lower leg.
Right, which is why he's not playing 5-on-5. He can't explode.
Correct. He can't cut, he can't explode off the dribble, he can't defend. But what we saw last night was a masterclass in mechanics and muscle memory.
Okay.
Lillard has this one-motion release that is so efficient, he doesn't actually rely on a massive vertical jump to get the ball to the rim.
So it's more fluid.
It's all fluidity and transfer of energy.
So you're saying his specific shooting form allowed him to bypass the injury limitation.
100%. If you watched him closely, and I was looking at the slow-motion replays, he wasn't elevating high on his jumper. It was almost a set shot.
Huh.
It reminded me of the old-school two-hand set shots from the 50s, but with modern mechanics.
Right.
But his set point, his elbow alignment, the flick of the wrist, it's identical to what it was 5 years ago. It proves that shooting is the absolute last skill to go.
Wow.
You can lose your speed, you can lose your bounce, but if you have that touch, it stays.
It was clinical. It was like watching a machine. And let's look at the numbers. He put up 27 in the first round to advance.
Solids.
Then in the final round, he needed a big number. Devin Booker had just put up 27. Konknoepel, the rookie from the Hornets, sort of flamed out with 17.
Yeah, he got a little tight.
So Lillard knows the number. He needs 27 to tie, 28 to win.
And that's where the money ball strategy comes in. We talk about this every year, but Lillard is a tactician with that rack.
He is.
He knows exactly where to place it. But more importantly, it was the clutch factor.
The Dame Time thing isn't just a marketing slogan, is it?
It really isn't. Think about the pressure. Booker is sitting there, and we have to give Devin Booker his flowers for a second.
Oh, for sure.
Booker put on an absolute clinic in round 1. He dropped 30 points.
30?
That was the highest single-round score of the night. He looked unbeatable. His release was rapid fire. He was pulling the ball from the rack and releasing it before his feet even fully set. It was beautiful.
He looked like he was going to run away with it, no question.
But then in the final round, Booker faded just a little bit on that last rack. I think he left 2 shots short.
Yep.
And that gave Dame the opening. So Lillard steps up, and honestly, he starts slow. He missed a couple early on the first rack.
He did. I got a little nervous for him. I thought maybe the conditioning or lack thereof was catching up to him.
But then he gets to the corner, he gets to the money ball rack, and he just locks in.
Laser focus.
It's like the world slows down for him. He hits that final shot from the corner baseline to get to 29. He didn't just crawl across the finish line, he sprinted through it.
There was a quote from Lillard afterwards that I loved. He was asked about watching Booker shoot that 27 in the final round. And Dame, with a straight face, says, "I was preying on his downfall."
I loved that. That is the competitive fire. You know, people talk about All-Star Weekend being too friendly, too soft.
Right, too buddy-buddy.
We complain the guys are just there to hug and swap jerseys. Dame is sitting there, in street clothes, basically, wishing for Devin Booker to miss. That is the energy we need.
Yes.
It wasn't an exhibition for him. It is a conquest.
It really was. But I want to push you on something.
Go for it.
Does this say more about Lillard's greatness? Or does it say something about the field? I mean, we had a guy who hasn't played NBA basketball in 10 months beat the best active shooters in the world. Is that embarrassing for the league?
I don't think it's embarrassing. I think it's revealing.
Oh.
It reveals that shooting in a contest format is a specialized skill. It's different from game speed. Devin Booker is a rhythm scorer. He needs to flow.
Right.
In a contest, it's about repetition. Lillard, even in rehab, has probably shot 10,000 standstill threes in the last 6 months. That's all he can do.
Huh.
So in a weird way, he might have been better prepared for a standstill contest than the guys running up and down the court every night.
That's a fair point. He's basically been training for the three-point contest as his full-time job.
Exactly. And we have to give credit to Konknoepel.
Rookie.
The rookie. Look, he scored 17 in the final, which isn't great. He rushed his mechanics. He got a little jittery.
The lights were bright.
But in the first round, he dropped 27. He matched Dame's first-round score. For a rookie to step onto that stage with the lights and the pressure and knock down 27, that kid has a bright future. The Hornets have a sniper.
He does. It's good to see the young guy stepping up. But let's pivot to the event that usually generates the most noise, for better or for worse.
Or for worse lately.
The AT&T Slam Dunk Contest.
The dunk contest. The event we love to hate and hate to love.
The winner is Keyshawn Johnson from the Miami Heat. He takes it home with a final round total of 97.4.
Yep.
The runner-up, Carter Bryant, the Spurs rookie, finishes with a 93.0.
But the score doesn't tell the whole story. If you just read the box score, you miss the tragedy.
It absolutely does not. The narrative here is clear. Carter Bryant had this thing won.
Oh, he had it locked up.
He had it in his bag.
Yeah.
And then the wheels fell off.
It was a classic case of peaking too early versus staying consistent. Let's break down the timeline. Carter Bryant comes out in the finals, first dunk. He does a between-the-legs one-handed slam that was just violent in a good way.
Yeah. It was beautiful. The extension was incredible. The power.
The judges gave it a 50. A perfect 50. It was the only 50 of the night. Right. At that moment, everyone in the arena, everyone watching at home, thought, okay, the rookie has this wrapped up.
He just needed a solid dunk to win. He didn't need a miracle. He needed a 45.
Correct. He needed a safe but impressive dunk. Instead, he tried to go for the jugular.
He's greedy.
He attempted this complex between the legs off the backboard reverse.
High degree of difficulty.
Extremely high. The margin for error is millimeters. And he missed it. Then he missed it again.
Ooh, it was painful to watch.
And you could feel the energy just get sucked out of the building. We've seen this movie before. The dunker gets frustrated. The crowd gets quiet. The judges start looking at their phone.
Oh, and then he settled.
He settled for a safety dunk. A basic 360-degree jam. And look, a 360 is impressive if you're me or you.
Sure.
For an NBA dunk contest finalist, it's a layup. It signaled defeat. He scored a 43.
And that opened the door wide open for Keshad Johnson.
And Johnson walked right through it. Now, Johnson didn't have the 50. He didn't have the highest vertical in the building. Bryant clearly had the bounce.
No question.
But Johnson had the execution. His winning sequence was technically very sound. He threw the ball to himself from the baseline, caught it, went through the legs midair, and finished with a reverse jam.
And he got a 49.6 for that.
Which is a massive score, and deservedly so. It was clean. He nailed it on the first try. And that's the thing about the dunk contest. It's about make rate as much as it is about flair.
Right.
You kill the vibe when you miss. Johnson kept the vibe alive.
He also brought the entertainment factor. We saw him bring out E40, the rapper.
The Bay Area legend.
Jumped over E40 while doing the Dougie. I mean, that's showmanship.
It is. And Keshad is from Oakland, so that connection was authentic. It wasn't just a random celebrity prop.
Good point.
It meant something to him. And I think the judges rewarded that consistency and that energy. He understood the assignment, don't miss, and make it fun.
So, the debate here. Did Keshad Johnson win it, or did Carter Bryant lose it?
It's a little bit of both. But if I have to pick a side, I say consistency beats potential every single time in this format.
So Bryant lost it.
Bryant lost it. He had the athleticism to win. If he lands that second dunk, we are talking about a legendary performance. But he didn't. Johnson did what he had to do. He was a machine.
We also briefly have to touch on the guys who got eliminated early. Jace Richardson from the Magic and Jackson Hayes from the Lakers.
Jace Richardson. That was scary.
It was. He hit the deck hard.
He tried a really difficult bounce oop reverse. Technically, the difficulty was off the charts. But he didn't quite get the grip, slipped off the rim, and took a nasty fall.
Yeah.
Reggie Miller on the broadcast was talking about his hair saving him from a concussion, which, well, that's Reggie being Reggie.
That's a classic Reggie tale.
But it definitely put a damper on the first round.
And Jackson Hayes.
Look, Jackson Hayes is a phenomenal in-game dunker. But in a contest, he jumped from just inside the free throw line. He was fine.
Just fine.
It was a mid-dunk, as the kids say. And yet, Dwight Howard gave him a 47.
We are definitely going to talk about that scoring in the next segment. But overall, looking at last night's games, what is your one-sentence takeaway?
Lillard is a machine that doesn't need oil, but the dunk contest proved that consistency beats potential every single time.
I like that. A machine that doesn't need oil.
Yeah.
Perfect description for Dame. Okay, we're going to take a breath, maybe check what time it is, and when we come back, we're getting into the heat, the schedule, the broadcast, and why NBA Twitter was melting down over a 5 p.m. start time. You are listening to The Orange Ball. Welcome back to The Orange Ball. I'm Alex Morgan alongside Taylor Brooks. We just break down the winners, Dame Lillard and Keshad Johnson. But if you were online last night, or frankly, if you tried to turn on your TV at 8 p.m. Eastern expecting to see some basketball,
yeah, good luck with that.
You realize the biggest story wasn't the dunks, it was the clock.
The all-star afternoon debacle. This is the story beneath the story.
Let's set the table here.
Okay.
The event started at 5:00 p.m. Eastern, 2:00 p.m. Pacific.
Which is lunchtime in L.A. Not even a late lunch.
Literally lunch. And the reason, famously, was NBC. They are the rights holder now, and they have the Winter Olympics going on in Milan Cortina.
Right.
So they prioritized primetime Olympic coverage over the NBA All-Star Saturday night.
Which, from a business standpoint, I get it. I understand. The Olympics are a massive global event.
Sure.
NBC paid billions for those rights. They aren't going to bump live skiing or figure skating for a dunk contest. But for the NBA consumer, this was rough.
I was reading through the Reddit threads, and it was a bloodbath. There were hundreds of comments from people tuning in at 8 p.m. ET, pizzas ordered, beverages in hand, expecting to see the three-point contest.
And it's over.
And realizing the whole thing was over. They missed it entirely.
It's a massive failure. I'm just going to say it. It's a failure by the league and by NBC to not communicate this better or to schedule it this way at all.
You think so?
You cannot alienate your core audience like that. The NBA All-Star Saturday Night is an institution. It's a ritual. You watch it at night. Moving it to the afternoon turned it into background noise.
People were calling it All-Star Brunch.
And it felt like brunch. If you looked at the arena, the Intuit Dome, in the early shots,
yeah,
there were empty seats. The energy was low.
it did look a little sparse.
It didn't feel electric. It felt like a corporate retreat, and the players feed off that. You think Carter Bryant misses that second dunk if the crowd is absolutely deafening at 10 p.m. on a Saturday night? Maybe. But the atmosphere matters.
I want to challenge you on that, though.
Okay.
NBC pays the bills.
Yeah.
They just signed this massive rights deal. If they say jump, the NBA has to say how high, right? And frankly, did the time really change the quality of the dunks?
Yes.
Keyshawn Johnson was still jumping over E40.
Yeah.
Dame was still hitting money balls. Does the sun being out change the physics?
It changes the psychology. It changes the vibe. Athletes are creatures of habit. They are used to performing at peak levels at 7, 8, 9 p.m.
That's fair.
Their bodies are primed for night games. 2 p.m. in the afternoon, that's shoot-around time, that's nap time. It throws off the rhythm.
Yeah.
But more importantly, it fragments the conversation.
That's the key for me.
Part of the fun of All-Star Weekend is that everyone is watching together on Twitter X. It's a monoculture moment.
A collective experience.
Last night, the timeline was split. Half the people were watching, half didn't know what was on. It killed the event feel. If a dunk happens in a forest and nobody tweets about it until 4 hours later, did it really happen?
That's a fair rebuttal. The fragmented conversation is a real issue. If you don't have that collective whoa moment on social media, the league loses that viral currency.
Exactly. And speaking of whoa moments, or maybe what moments, let's talk about the other controversy that had people riled up.
Let's do it.
The judging.
Oh boy, the scoring system. It's a 40-50 scale, essentially.
The gentleman's 40. It is ruining the stakes.
We mentioned it in the first segment. Jackson Hayes does a pretty basic one-handed dunk from inside the free throw line. It was fine.
It was a warm-up dunk. And Dwight Howard gives him a 47. A 47.
And then Jace Richardson does that incredibly difficult bounce soup reverse. Yes, he fell, but the dunk went in, and he gets scored lower or equal to Hayes.
It's broken. The judging scale is absolutely broken. The judges, Dwight, Dominique Wilkins, they are too charitable, especially to the big men.
Why do you think that is?
They are grading on a curve that doesn't exist. If everything is a 47, then nothing is a 47. You need to use the whole scale. Give someone a 35 if it's a bad dunk.
But they don't want to embarrass the players. They are peers. They're friends.
Then don't have a contest. The fans see right through it. When you see a mid-dunk get a 48 and then a spectacular dunk get a 49, it compresses the gap between okay and great. It makes the great look less special. It devalues the currency of the score.
And then there was the commentary.
Reggie Miller.
Social media was not kind to Reggie last night.
No.
Rambling was the word used most often. And the sentiment was very strong. The broadcast desperately missed Kenny Smith.
It did. Kenny Smith is the dunk contest voice. He provides that hype, that it's over energy. He punctuates the moment.
Now let's go home.
Exactly. Kenny isn't employed by NBC, so we have to get used to this new reality. But Reggie, he was struggling to fill the dead air. He was talking about hair saving people from concussions. It just lacked that sharp hype man energy that Kenny brings.
So, looking at the Reddit threads, there's a lot of talk about a hard reset.
It's time.
Bringing in YouTube dunkers or independent pros, the guys who dedicate their entire lives to dunking, not playing NBA basketball. Does the contest need that?
I think we are getting close to that point. The NBA players, the superstars aren't doing it. We had 3 guys with almost 0 NBA starts in Jackson Hayes.
Right.
If the stars won't participate and the judging is broken, why not bring in the professionals? Let Mac McClung come back. Let the YouTube guys come in. Let's see things we've never seen before. Because right now, we are seeing recycled dunks getting inflated scores.
It's a tough spot for the league. You want the NBA brand, but the product is suffering.
If we are giving 47s for warm-up dunks, just give everyone a trophy. That's how I feel. The fans are smart. They know when they're being patronized.
It's a harsh truth. And I think my closing take on this segment echoes yours. NBC might have the rights, but if you schedule the dunk contest during a late lunch in LA, don't be surprised when the buzz is quiet. You can't manufacture hype at 2 p.m.
Amen to that.
Okay, we've vented. We've analyzed the past. Now we need to look to the future. Tonight, the 75th NBA All-Star Game. New format, new teams, new injuries. We're breaking it all down in segment 3. Stay with us.
We are back on the Orange Ball. We've covered the Saturday showcase or Saturday brunch, and now we turn our eyes to tonight, Sunday night, the 75th NBA All-Star Game. And guess what?
What's that?
It's a 5 p.m. Eastern start again, so set your alarms.
Don't show up at 8 p.m., folks. You will see the closing credits.
Exactly. Now, this isn't just East versus West anymore. The league has completely overhauled the format. We have a 3-team mini-tournament.
USA Stars versus Strikes versus World. Let's break down the teams. We have Team World, headlined by Giannis, Luka, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Stack.
We have USA Stars, which is the younger crew. Yeah. Anthony Edwards, Devin Booker, Scotty Barnes.
Young guns.
And then USA Stripes, the old guard LeBron James, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant.
The legends. This format is fascinating because it changes the incentives. It's a round robin.
Yeah.
4 games total.
Mini games.
Right, 12-minute games. This is huge tactically. In a standard 48-minute All-Star game, guys float for the first 3 quarters.
Totally.
They jog back on defense. They try crazy passes. But in a 12-minute sprint, you can't float. If you go down 10-0 in a 12-minute game, it's over. You lose.
So you think we'll see real defense early?
I think we have to. You have to win the mini game to advance. It forces competitiveness from the jump ball. And the matchup I am dying to see is USA Stripes versus Team World.
The legends versus the global takeover.
Exactly. Can LeBron, Curry, and KD, who have a combined age of, 100?
Something like that, yeah.
Can they keep up with the pace of a 12-minute sprint against Shai and Luka? It's a test of the old guard. Do they still have the legs to dominate a short format?
Well, that brings us to the elephant in the room, the injury cloud. Because Team World sounds terrifying on paper, but in reality, they are limping.
They are really banged up.
Let's review the report from Saturday. Giannis Antetokounmpo is officially out. He's there in a coaching capacity
A
only.
huge blow.
So you lose the most dominant physical force on the floor.
That's a massive blow for Team World. Giannis is the engine. He's the guy who takes the All-Star game seriously. Without him, who is guarding the rim?
Then you have Luka Doncic. He's dealing with a hamstring strain.
Yeah.
He told reporters yesterday that he plans to play a little bit.
A little bit. That's code for, I'm going to wave to the fans, throw one lob pass, and sit down.
Right?
You can't mess around with a hamstring. He's the league's leading scorer. He's thinking about the playoffs. He is not going to sprint in a mini-tournament.
And obviously Damian Lillard won the three-point contest. But he is strictly out for the game due to his Achilles protocol.
Of course.
So looking at this, Team World is down Giannis and has a hobbled Luka.
Which puts a massive amount of pressure on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
The Shai factor.
Shai has to carry the load. And look, he's capable. He's an MVP candidate. His game is perfect for this format, isolation scoring, getting to his spots, efficiency.
He's a bucket.
But without Giannis to clean up the glass and run the floor, and without Luka creating magic, Team World is vulnerable. They don't have the depth.
So where does the advantage swing?
I think it hands the advantage to the USN teams, specifically USA Stars.
The young guys?
You look at Anthony Edwards, Devin Booker, Scotty Barnes, because these guys are young, they are hungry, and most importantly, they are healthy. They have fresh legs. In a tournament format where you might have to play multiple mini games back-to-back, youth matters.
That's a great point. And Edwards isn't going to get tired. He's going to treat this like Game 7. He wants to prove he's the face of the league.
And Booker. Remember, he just lost the three-point contest to a guy in street clothes. He might have a little chip on his shoulder tonight.
You think so?
He wants to remind people he's a killer.
I want to touch on one more thing, the narrative of the venue. We are at the Intuit Dome. This is Steve Ballmer's billion-dollar baby, the Halo board, the tech.
Right.
Adam Silver made a big deal about this being the future of the league.
The market health discussion.
Exactly. This game feels like a test run for NBC's production style before the playoffs. They need this to look good. They need it to sound good. And honestly, they need the stars to show up.
That's why I'm looking at USA Stripes, LeBron and Curry.
The OG.
They understand the assignment. They know the Saturday reviews were mixed, the schedule, the dunks. They know the league needs a moment.
Right.
I think you're going to see LeBron and Steph try to put on a show to save the weekend. They are the showmen. They know the cameras are on them. They know NBC's back. I expect them to try and manufacture some viral moments early.
It's the Save the Weekend tour for the OGs. I like that. So, prediction time. We have Team World limping, USA Stars with the youth, and USA Stripes with the legacy. Who wins this inaugural mini-tournament?
It's tough. My heart says Team World because the talent level is just astronomical, but my head looks at the injury report. Team World is limping in.
Right.
Never bet against Shai Gilgeous-Alexander in a format that rewards isolation scoring. He's the king of the ISO. However, I think the USA Stripes take the crown.
You're going with the old guys.
LeBron and Curry in a short format, they can empty the tank for 12 minutes. I think the old guard reminds everyone why they are still the faces of the league.
I'm going to go with the USA Stars. I think the youth movement takes over. Ant-Man is going to steal the show.
It's going to be fun regardless. Just tune in on time.
Please tune in on time. Okay, that wraps up our preview. Just a quick recap of the viewing schedule. The game is at 5:00 p.m. Eastern on NBC and Peacock. Do not tune in at 8 p.m. You will see Olympic curling or a rerun of Bad Teacher or something.
And a quick footnote before we go, shout out to the Knicks.
Oh, right. The Shooting Stars.
Team Knicks Brunson, Towns, and Allen Houston won the Shooting Stars competition. They beat Team Cameron.
The Knicks finally won something.
Hey, a trophy is a trophy. Jalen Brunson from deep. Allen Houston looking like he could still give you 15 minutes off the bench. It was a nice moment for New York fans.
It was.
Yeah.
Okay, give us a final provocative thought to leave the listeners with. Something to chew on before tip-off tonight.
We just watched a guy in street clothes, Damian Lillard, outshoot the best active players in the world.
Right.
Does this prove that shooting is an art form separate from basketball conditioning, or is the rest of the league just catching up to Dame time? Is the skill gap widening even when the athleticism gap closes?
That is a deep question. Is shooting purely mental and mechanical? Dame seems to think so.
I think he proved it.
We will see you tomorrow to break down the 75th All-Star Game, hopefully after a very competitive USA versus World showdown. Thanks for listening to The Orange Ball.
Enjoy the game, everyone.